You ever wake up one morning and feel like life's been running on repeat? Like you've been living the same day over and over again? Same thoughts, same excuses, same promises you never kept? You tell yourself, tomorrow I'll change. But tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year. And before you know it, your dreams start collecting dust. That's what the comfort zone does. It doesn't destroy you all at once. It just dulls you, quietly, slowly, until you forget what it felt like to be hungry. I remember the day it hit me. I was tired. Not the kind of tired you fix with sleep, but the kind that comes from living small. I realized I'd been playing defense my whole life, avoiding risk, avoiding failure, avoiding pain. I wasn't living. I was managing fear, managing stress, managing expectations. But deep down, I knew the truth. I wasn't managing anything. I was wasting everything. Comfort was my drug. I took it every day. Easy choices, low effort, no pain. It felt safe. But safe is where dreams go to die. The comfort zone doesn't care if you have potential. It only cares if you stay quiet. It rewards you for blending in, for doing just enough to survive. It keeps you soft, and then it convinces you that softness is peace, but it's not. It's slow death. I knew I had to change. Not someday, now. Because one day, you look in the mirror and realize your one day has turned into never. That's when it clicked. I didn't need motivation. I didn't need someone to save me. I needed to take control of my habits, because habits are the foundation of everything. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your discipline. That's where it began, with the smallest, ugliest, hardest habits I could find. 10 of them. 10 wars I had to fight with myself. 10 truths that cut deep, stripped me bare, and built me back stronger. Habit 1. Wake up earlier than your excuses. The first battle every day is against your own comfort. That alarm goes off, and your brain starts lying immediately. 5 more minutes. I'll start later. I deserve rest. No, what you deserve is growth, and growth doesn't live in your bed. Waking up early isn't about being a morning person. It's about being a warrior before the world wakes up. It's about proving to yourself, first thing in the morning, that comfort doesn't control you. Those quiet hours before the chaos, that's where your power is. That's where your discipline sharpens. When I started waking up before sunrise, I stopped being reactive. I stopped letting the world dictate my day. I started owning it. You wake up early enough and you realize how many people are still sleeping, physically and mentally. That's your edge. That's your advantage. You don't win the war when you feel strong. You win it when you're still half asleep and decide to move anyway. Every time you get up before your excuses, you remind yourself who's in charge. Habit 2. Do something every day that scares you. You want to grow? Step into fear every damn day. Fear is the wall between who you are and who you're meant to become. Most people hit that wall, turn around, and go back to comfort. That's why they never level up. I used to think fear was a sign to stop, but fear is actually your body saying, we're about to evolve. That feeling in your stomach, that hesitation, that's your signal. Go toward it. Every time you do, you collect another piece of strength. The first time I ran in the rain, I hated it. The first time I spoke in front of people, I wanted to vanish. But every time I faced fear, it shrank. Every time I leaned into it, I learned something about myself. That I could survive it, that I could control it, that fear was never the enemy. The real enemy was hesitation. You'll never know how powerful you are until you stop running from fear. The moment you start seeking discomfort on purpose, you start to transform. The body adapts, the mind expands, the soul hardens. That's where real growth lives, in the moments that terrify you. Most people live their entire lives on the safe side of fear. They never risk enough to feel alive, but when you push through even once, you start to taste freedom. Not the fake kind, not scrolling through Instagram comfort. Real freedom, the kind that comes when you stop being afraid of your own potential. Habit 3. Kill the distractions. You're not tired, you're distracted, you're not unmotivated, you're overstimulated, you're not failing because you can't do it. You're failing because you're doing too much that doesn't matter. When I finally started cutting distractions, it felt like detox. My phone had become my leash. I'd wake up and scroll like my life depended on it, feeding on other people's highlights, comparing, consuming, wasting hours. I wasn't living, I was watching. So I started cutting, notifications off, apps deleted, phone on airplane mode while I worked, and when the noise stopped, something happened that scared me. Silence. At first, that silence was uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do with it. But then, I started hearing something I hadn't heard in years, my own thoughts. When you remove distractions, the truth gets louder. You start to see how much time you've been wasting. You start realizing how addicted you were to escape. Distraction is comfort disguised as productivity. It makes you feel busy, but keeps you stuck. The day I cut out the noise, my focus tripled, my creativity came back. I stopped chasing cheap dopamine and started chasing real progress, because every notification you open is one step away from your goals. Every scroll steals a minute, every quick check turns into another wasted hour. You want to change your life? Guard your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Distraction is the enemy of greatness. It keeps you trapped in motion, but far from progress. By the time I started practicing these 3 habits, everything around me began to shift. Not because the world got easier. It didn't. It got harder, but I got harder. I started waking up with purpose, walking into fear instead of around it, cutting noise that didn't serve me. That's when I realized success isn't one big event. It's hundreds of small decisions stacked on top of each other every single day until discipline becomes your nature. This was the foundation, the first cracks in the walls of comfort, but the real transformation that came when I kept going, when I didn't just wake up early, but trained when I didn't want to, when I didn't just face fear, but broke myself down and rebuilt stronger, when I didn't just silence the noise, but embrace the silence completely. That's where the grind begins, and that's where we're heading next. At some point, you realize the comfort zone doesn't just hold you, it hunts you. Every time you take a step forward, it pulls you back with excuses. You've done enough. You deserve rest. Take a break. And that's how most people lose. Not in the big moments, but in the small ones, the tiny decisions where they choose comfort over greatness. If you want to level up, you've got to stop negotiating with your weakness. You can't keep making deals with your softer side. The comfort zone will always whisper, just skip it today. And the moment you listen, it wins. That's where the next habit was born. Habit 4, train when you don't want to. Discipline is the backbone of everything. It's not built when you're motivated. It's built when you're exhausted, uninspired, and ready to quit. Anyone can train when they feel good, but the real test is training when you feel nothing. When I first started pushing my limits, I used to wait for energy. I'd tell myself, I'll go when I'm ready, but I learned that ready never comes. You've got to move anyway. You've got to put one foot in front of the other when every part of you wants to stay still. You think David Goggins waited to feel good before he ran 100 miles? No, he ran because he refused to let weakness win. That's what training really is. It's not exercise, it's confrontation. You versus you, your excuses versus your will, your pain versus your purpose. The days you don't want to train are the most important, because that's when you prove who's really in control, your body or your mind. When you drag yourself out of bed, lace up your shoes, and show up anyway, that's when the shift happens. The body follows the mind follows purpose. And purpose doesn't take days off. Every rep you do when you don't want to, that's armor. Every step you take when your legs are screaming, that's power. You're not just building strength, you're building resilience, and resilience doesn't fade, it stays. Habit 5, embrace silence over noise. The next thing I learned, silence is the most uncomfortable sound in the world for people who don't know themselves. We live in a world that's addicted to noise. Music, notifications, TV, scrolling, podcasts. Everyone's plugged into something because silence exposes truth. When you're quiet, you start to hear that voice inside. The one you've been ignoring. The one that says, you're wasting time. You're capable of more. You're hiding. When I cut out the noise, it felt strange. No distractions, no music, no background chaos. Just me and the truth. And that's when I realized silence isn't the enemy, it's the mirror. It reflects everything you've been avoiding. It shows you who you are without filters, without comfort, without noise. At first, you'll want to run from it, but don't. Sit in it. Let it burn. Because silence forces you to face the real war. The one in your head, the battle between your old habits and your future self. That's where growth happens. In the quiet, where nobody claps and nobody sees. When you learn to be calm in silence, you become unstoppable in chaos. Noise distracts the weak, stillness sharpens the strong. Habit 6, stop explaining yourself. When you start changing, people will talk. They'll call you obsessed, arrogant, selfish. They'll say, you've changed. Good, you were supposed to change is the whole point. In the beginning, I used to explain myself. I used to justify my grind. I wanted people to understand why I worked so hard, why I cut out certain habits, why I disappeared for stretches of time. But you know what I learned? You don't owe anyone an explanation for your evolution. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be undeniable. People who don't chase growth will always misunderstand those who do. They'll call your discipline extreme because it reminds them of their excuses. Let them talk. While they're busy judging, you'll be busy becoming. You don't need approval to chase your mission. You don't need applause to stay consistent. The grind doesn't care who's watching. It only rewards those who show up. Nike doesn't need to explain why they keep winning. They just do it. They show up. They set the standard. That's how you need to live. Silent, focused, ruthless. Don't explain your grind. Execute it. Because the more you explain yourself, the more energy you waste convincing people who will never get it. Protect your focus. Let your results do the talking. Habit 7. Protect your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Let me say that again. Not everyone deserves access to you. Energy is currency. Every conversation, every distraction, every relationship costs something. And if you keep giving your energy to people who don't build you, you'll stay broke. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I used to surround myself with complainers, doubters, people who had no vision. And guess what? Their habits became mine. Their energy became mine. You can't rise if you're anchored to people who live at the bottom. Protecting your energy doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means being intentional. It means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, not comfort you. People who push you to become sharper, stronger, hungrier. Because energy transfers. And if you're around weakness long enough, you start to think weak. When I started protecting my energy, my focus changed. My goals got louder, my excuses got quieter, and my growth exploded. I stopped chasing validation, I started chasing progress. Because when you're around real ones, people who are building, not talking, you feed off it. It fuels you. Protecting your energy is self-respect. It's saying, my peace is not a playground. You can't grow in toxic soil. You've got to plant yourself where discipline lives. These habits started to change everything. Not just what I did, but who I was. I stopped explaining my goals. I stopped chasing attention. I started feeding my mind, not my ego. I learned that peace doesn't come from rest. It comes from control. And that's what this journey is. Control. Control over your time, your energy, your emotions, your reactions. That's how you start escaping the comfort zone. Not with one big leap, but with small, daily decisions that slowly turn you into a weapon. You don't notice it at first. It's subtle. You just wake up one day and realize you don't think the same. You don't talk the same. You don't need the same distractions. You've changed. You've evolved. You've outgrown your old life, and the people still living it. But the transformation isn't done yet, because leveling up isn't just about cutting weakness. It's about replacing it with strength. It's about feeding the mind before the body, facing your own reflection, and repeating the grind until the old you doesn't exist anymore. That's where we're heading next, the final phase of the transformation. The thing about growth is, it doesn't just change how you live, it changes how you think. Once you start breaking the habits that kept you soft, you start to see the world differently. You stop chasing comfort, you start craving clarity, you stop looking for motivation, you start building momentum. That's when you realize the comfort zone wasn't protecting you, it was prison. But here's the thing, escaping the comfort zone isn't about being angry or hard all the time. It's about control. Control of your mind, your focus, your direction. And that control starts from the inside out. Habit 8, feed the mind before the body. For years, I thought growth was just physical. Train harder, run faster, lift heavier. But I learned something powerful. The body follows the mind. You can't outlift a weak mentality. You can't outrun your own self-doubt. When I started feeding my mind first, everything changed. I woke up and read something that challenged me. I listened to voices that pushed me. I studied people who lived at a higher standard. Warriors, builders, creators. I filled my head with truth before the world could fill it with noise. Most people spend their mornings feeding their bodies. Coffee, breakfast, dopamine, but never their minds. And that's why they break so easily. They walk into battle unarmed. Your mindset is your weapon. If you don't sharpen it daily, you'll dull your edge and start mistaking weakness for peace. When I began feeding my mind before my body, I built mental armor. I started replacing negative thoughts with discipline. I stopped letting emotions make decisions for me. The stronger your mind becomes, the easier life gets. Not because it's less painful, but because you're more powerful. Habit 9, face the mirror. Every morning, every day starts with accountability. You can run from everyone else, but you can't run from yourself. The mirror doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how tired you are, how busy you've been, or how many reasons you have for falling short. It only reflects truth. When I started facing the mirror every morning, it broke me because it forced me to be honest. I couldn't lie anymore. I couldn't say, I'm doing my best when I knew I was coasting. I couldn't say, I'm trying when I was avoiding discomfort. That mirror became my opponent. Every day, I looked myself in the eyes and asked, did you give it everything yesterday? Some days the answer was yes. Most days it wasn't. But that question changed me, because once you start holding yourself accountable, you stop needing others to. The mirror doesn't judge you, it teaches you. It shows you who you've been and who you're becoming. You can either hate what you see and stay the same, or hate what you see and do something about it. The world is full of people who never look long enough to confront themselves. They avoid the mirror, and in doing so, they avoid truth. But if you have the courage to face yourself, your flaws, your failures, your fears, you'll find your freedom. Habit 10, repeat until you don't recognize yourself. Everyone wants to change until they realize how long it takes. They want results without repetition, evolution without endurance. But the truth is simple. Growth is repetition. Transformation is repetition. Success is repetition. Every day you show up, every time you push, every time you choose discipline over comfort, that's one more strike against the old you. You don't change by doing something once you change by doing it so many times that the old version of you can't survive anymore. When I started, I thought I was grinding to build a new version of myself. I didn't realize I was killing the old one, the lazy one, the undisciplined one, the one who always found a reason to stop. That version of me died slowly, rep by rep, mile by mile, decision by decision. And what came out the other side wasn't someone better. It was someone real, someone forged. You want to level up? Then repeat until you don't recognize yourself. Repeat until you stop doubting. Repeat until your weakness becomes your weapon. Repeat until your comfort zone is a memory. Because transformation doesn't announce itself, it sneaks up on you. One day, you'll wake up, look in the mirror, and realize you don't think the same, you don't move the same, and you sure as hell don't settle the same. That's the reward for consistency. That's the power of habits. Here's the truth. Nobody's coming to push you. Nobody's coming to save you. The comfort zone is your enemy, and it's disguised as safety. It wants you to play small, stay soft, and call it balance. But balance without growth is just comfort with better branding. You're not here to be balanced. You're here to be becoming. Every day you have a choice. Go back to easy or fight for more. Every time you wake up, your mind will try to convince you to stop, to rest, to take it easy. Don't listen. Comfort sounds like care, but it's a trap. The comfort zone is the silent killer of ambition. It doesn't destroy you in one blow. It eats away at you piece by piece until there's nothing left but regret, and regret will haunt you longer than exhaustion ever will. So wake up earlier, face fear daily, kill the distractions, train when it hurts, embrace the silence, stop explaining yourself, protect your energy, feed your mind, face that mirror, and repeat until the old you doesn't exist. You think greatness is built in the spotlight? No, it's built in the dark. When no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when it's just you versus you, that's where transformation begins. In the grind no one sees, the pain no one feels, the work no one celebrates. You've got to earn your peace through pressure. You've got to earn your power through pain. You've got to earn your freedom through consistency. That's the only way out. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you're lying to yourself. Tomorrow doesn't exist. There's only now. You don't get to become who you're meant to be by waiting for motivation. You become it by moving through discomfort until discipline takes over. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for energy. Stop waiting for understanding. Just move. Start small, start broken, start tired, but start. Because every second you hesitate is another second comfort wins. And when it gets heavy, because it will, remember this: pressure isn't punishment, it's preparation. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. Pain doesn't mean stop. Pain means you're close. Every person who's ever made it knows this truth. The hardest part always happens right before you level up. You're closer than you think. Don't stop now. Don't fall back into comfort. You didn't come this far to halfway change. You came this far to destroy the version of you that gave up too early. So keep going. Push through it, burn through the noise, through the fear, through the fatigue, because on the other side of this pain, there's a version of you waiting, one you've never met before, stronger, sharper, unshakable. That's who you've been chasing all along. This is your time. This is your war. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be relentless. Comfort will whisper, you've done enough. Ignore it. You haven't even started yet. Comment relentless if you're done being comfortable. Subscribe if you're ready to level up, to grind, to evolve, to live like someone who refuses to settle. And when you do, remember this: you didn't escape the comfort zone to go back. You escaped to become unstoppable.